Alright, so I was able to watch the new Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim anime film, directed by Kenji Kamiyama, and it is produced by Peter Jackson. It takes place 183 years before Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, which I am a huge fan of. It's very close to my heart, was huge inspiration for me getting into filmmaking. This is going to be a non-spoiler review, just so you guys know, so you guys can keep watching. I was very excited for this movie. Like I said, big fan of the Peter Jackson films, even The Hobbit as well. And when I heard about this film, I was kind of surprised. It seemed so out of the blue and an odd choice. But nonetheless, I was excited. I was excited to have something new, Lord of the Rings, that Peter Jackson was involved with. And I like the kind of Asian anime Japanese collaboration was interesting to me. And having come off the Lord of the Rings TV show on Amazon, The Rings of Power, it's not the worst show. I did think season 2 was better than season 1, but it is such a slow burn, and I just wish stuff happened faster in that show. Especially with that Amazon money. Come on, like give me more up front. Anyways, yeah, the thing that was missing about Rings of Power 2 was like the music and some of the things that Peter Jackson added with that Howard Shore score, of course, which was nice to hear in this film, which I did appreciate. We did get a bit of that. I feel like maybe 10-20 minutes into the movie, I started to feel like I'd seen this before. Being a big fan of The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, second film in the trilogy, I kind of knew where it was going. Got me thinking a lot about how it feels like The Two Towers if it was just focused on Rohan. And they took out the hobbits, they took out the Fellowship, and all that, and very similar to the kind of Eowyn Theoden father-daughter situation. Not exactly, but it still was enough to feel like I've seen this before. She's got the brothers, like kind of like Eomer and stuff, like Eowyn did, and it just felt like a revamp of that story, even though it's a prequel. But in a way it was like a more progressive version of that story, in a way of like in the way that they gave the women more stuff to do and more action and depth in their characters, more layers. I don't know, just they gave us more in terms of that, which I appreciated, but it just seemed odd to do so many years later and use the same story and blueprint you use for the Two Towers. I mean, what do they do in the Two Towers? They live in Edoras, however you want to say it, in Rohan, and that's where they have their farm life and they do their stuff. They live, but as soon as the battle comes, they have to go and retreat to Helm's Deep. I'm not spoiling anything. This is what happens in the Two Towers. This is what you see in the trailer for the movie as well. And it was like, okay, why don't you guys just set up camp and live in Helm's Deep if you guys keep having to retreat to Helm's Deep? Like, why live in Edoras if it's not safe enough? Like, why make it so you have to keep going to Helm's Deep? I mean, ideally, there's no war, and you're not having to do that, but just make your castle safer, I guess, I don't know. It just seemed kind of silly to me. This movie made me realize, like, oh, they keep doing this. They keep making the same mistake, kind of. I don't know. I was pretty disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the animation was just kind of okay. It was cool seeing some things. I think there was maybe one scene with like the Mumakil that I liked, but other than that, it just was not doing it for me, and didn't really seem like it was giving me anything new. It still pulled the same tropes, like literally like play by play of Helm's Deep. Like, you know exactly what's gonna happen. If you've seen the Two Towers, you know what's gonna happen in this movie. You know moments, like they literally repeat moments that the Two Towers did. Like, it just feels like it has a new skin almost. Like, I understand that they want to give us that nostalgia and take us back to our favorite places and get to see our favorite characters here and there, but like, just, you can do that without doing the same exact thing. And it felt like a weird, like, imagine getting the Two Towers on DVD or Blu-ray, and then you find this like animated feature of it. That's kind of how I felt, and it didn't really feel theatrical. It didn't feel really that much new. It felt like a new Rohan story, or new Two Towers story for a new generation. And for somebody who just knows that story so well, it wasn't that exciting for me. I love Miranda Otto's voice. You know, she's one of my favorite parts of that trilogy, and it was obviously great to have her come back. But other than that, like, I just don't think it was really worth going out to the movies to go see. So I would wait for streaming or something if you really want to see it that bad. It's not, you don't need to rush out to go see it. I think I'm more excited about Regal's popcorn bucket for this movie than I am for the actual movie now. But that was just me. I'm really trying to dance around spoilers, but it's like I can't. It's like there's not that much to spoil. Trailer shows what you're gonna get, and it's pretty much the Two Towers. But the movie's out this week. I'd love to hear what you guys think of War of the Rohirrim. Are you guys going to be watching it? Let me know down below. Thank you guys. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.